Today we're going to try Progresso toppers. This is the chicken tortilla soup with tortilla strips on the top. I gotta say right off the bat, I'm tripping over my words, but I want to say right off the bat that I generally have found most soups in these kind of plastic containers that are shelf-stable soups and not refrigerated to be not that good. I generally prefer canned, but I'm going to give it a shot anyway because I'm intrigued by the fresh tortilla strips on top. So, reading the instructions, remove lid and toppers, set aside, partially peel back film on soup, microwave for 30 seconds at a time until hot, approximately 2 minutes. Stir well after each heating. So 30 seconds stir, 30 seconds stir, up to 2 minutes, maybe more. Carefully remove film, add toppers. Do not microwave lid and toppers, and do not reheat bowl. So you just microwave it like a standard cup of soup and then pour the toppers on top. Makes sense. Okay, here we go, live on the internet. I'm gonna pour the topper onto the soup. Now I'm gonna take a bite. Make sure I get some chicken, some whatever else is in here, along with my toppers. I must say that I am more impressed by this soup than I thought I would be. As I said in the beginning, I kind of had a bias towards these kind of plastic bowl soups because I've gotten many of them that were terrible. This one works. I don't know if maybe they changed, maybe it's just been a couple years and they're better now, or it's just the fact that it's chicken tortilla soup, which makes it easier to translate into this format. But I've gotten like a lot of creamy soups like broccoli cheese and stuff like that that are just terrible. This one's actually surprisingly good. Maybe you could actually use a little bit more spice, but it does have a kick that I enjoy. The important part, outside of the fact that the soup is pretty good, I do want to mention that I'm used to chunkier soups, so I do kind of miss a lot of ingredients in this. While the flavor is there and everything's good, the beans and the chicken's okay for being canned chicken and soup canned, but whatever. The beans, the peppers, everything, it's good. There's just not enough of it. There's more liquid, there's more soup, I guess, than toppings. The ratio, I prefer it to be a little more chunky, but that could just be my bias. Now the toppers, that's the thing that separates this from just a can of Progresso soup, basically. I like the idea. I do like that it adds a little texture, a little crunch to the soup. What I don't like is how much price it adds to the soup. I think that's where the issue comes with the toppers. The thing is, you can buy a can of Progresso chicken tortilla soup for generally like $2, at least around me, $2. This at Walmart was $2.98. Now, I understand that part of that is that it's a convenient factor with the bowl, so you can take it to work or whatever, microwave it and not have to worry about it. But you can just, here's a tip for anybody who likes to eat a lot of soup. You can just buy a little soup, plastic soup thing for like a couple bucks, and you can just pour your can of soup in there and microwave it, and it comes out just the same. And you can just reuse that. Also help the environment a lot, because this is terrible. A lot of plastic, especially when you have another thing plastic on top of it with foil on and everything else. So, you know, outside of that, I do like the concept of it, but I think you'd be better served just buying a can of chicken tortilla soup and buying a bag of, you can buy a bag of these like crispy topper things in some places for cheap, like $1. So you can just buy some tortilla strips for $1 and you can make, you know, dozens of bowls of soup with that bag. I understand that convenience comes at a cost, and I'm a lazy person in a lot of respects, and I eat a lot of frozen food because I'm lazy, but I'm not that lazy to the point where I need to buy this over just buying a can of soup, putting it in a container that I bought and owned for years that I've used for soup, just pouring it in there and microwaving it, and then putting some of my own tortilla strips on top. There's only the slightest bit of extra effort over this. The convenience is there, but it's just not necessary. But as I said, the soup actually tastes good. I suspect if I bought a can of chicken tortilla soup from Progresso, it would taste fairly close, if not identical. So if I bought the can of soup, I think I would give it a 4, but I'm going to give this a 3 because it's $1 more essentially for putting it in a plastic bowl and adding some tortilla strips on top. So it's not worth it. The chicken tortilla soup is worth it, so maybe I'll buy a can just to check it out and see if it's actually the same flavor, because the flavor of the soup is good, but the value ratio is just not there to where I could make it a 4. in my head. I just cannot make that logical leap. So it's going to be a 3. If you are spectacularly lazy like me and take it to the next level and don't care about money, then sure, it's fine. But for anybody else, just save yourself the money and do like 5% more effort to make the same thing. See you next time.